Okay, so new week. We got some news coming up this week. Um, Powell is talking again on Tuesday. Let me bring up the news. So we have on Tuesday, today we have a dead day actually. On Tuesday, we do have PMI and Powell talking. On Thursday, we do have unemployment claims. And on Friday, we have core PCE. So we have some volatility coming up this week as well. On previous week, we did have a pretty bad weekly close. Bad in terms of where we're at and where we're heading. As I said earlier, this rejection is kind of nasty. I know it's a Monday, but if this weekly closes like this, it's bad and we could potentially going lower. So yeah, back into this chart right here. In terms of price action, we have liquidity resting here. We have a POI sitting right here. Right. On higher time frame, we have a POI sitting right here with liquidity resting below. We do have also liquidity resting right here. So that's pretty much the POIs are 104, 104, and 120. Right. Here we are sitting in the middle, so don't diddle in the middle, as it says. Now, going straight away into market profile to show you some stuff. Starting off with the weekly, we do have three composites right here. We have a 5-week composite above, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Let's merge these. These 5 weeks. Then we have a 7-week composite from back here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's merge this as well. And then we have formed also a 2-week composite, which is not that important on higher time frame, but it will be important for weekly developments, right? So if we merge these, we do have a clean weekly composite as well. Now, what have we done? We did reject into a 5-week viral low, and now we're back into the 2-week composite. So we have left behind some NPOCs untapped from this 5-week composite, right? And some poor highs. This might be a good sign in terms of future developments, because when we're leaving these two together, price tends to fill this. So it will be important for the future what happens here, back to 115k. So what could we get now? We could be seeing price creeping here, then accepting back above to trade back to 115k. We could be seeing price slow grinding lower below the 2-week composite for a pullback back to 109 and 108, but I'm not seeing a reason why this level should hold, honestly, because if we look at price action as well, let me bring up the levels and hide the drawings. These are the 5-week and the 7-week composite, right? So we do have liquidity resting here. So if price comes right here, why shouldn't it go all the way to value low of this 7-week value, right? So market profile. If we come back into these levels, I'm expecting also a full rotation towards a 7-week value low, which is at 104k. Right, now if we do bounce here and price rejects into the 5-week value low once again, this is probably by 80% probability a top for me, because we're rejecting once and twice into this 5-week value. So this will be a top for me, and we'll be seeing lower prices most definitely, in my opinion. Now if we come back here at 115, 116k and we see price slow grinding, we're seeing a massive leg towards upside to fill this week, to fill this inefficiency, and to fill also an imbalance that is up here in terms of price action, and take out liquidity, of course. Right, so back to our chart. If we come into here, we do have internal liquidity resting into 116k with a POI as well. Right, here we do have a massive POI. If price comes into this POI, sweeps and comes to trade back below, it's a bad sign. If price comes into this POI and starts slow grinding, it's a really good sign because we're going higher. Right, so now summing up everything together, let me bring up my levels. Actually, I will go through VWAPs as well. So starting off with the weekly VWAP, or the quarterly VWAP, sorry. What did we see? We see failure hold above the developing quarterly value, developing quarterly VWAP, right? So price is rotational within the developing quarterly VWAP. If we do bounce here, we're seeing price trading higher, right? Where at this POI, so if we reject again into the quarterly VWAP, we're seeing lower prices towards previous quarter value high, right? This is the one scenario I'm looking at. Second scenario I'm looking at is a full rotation into the developing value towards value high, right? Where our POI is also sitting around 120k. So that's pretty much it. I'm falling more into the idea of price rejecting here, but we will see how we will develop. Monthly, in 8 days, I don't know how much it is, the monthly changes, the monthly value changes. All right, so for the next few days we will be seeing price trading within these levels, 115 to 112k, 111k, right? So if we do get a bounce here where we're targeting 115k, moreover 116k into this POI, if price starts to trade lower, we're actually escaping value, right? Because what did we do? We rejected the previous VWAP, and what do we know? When price comes into the POC and rejects from it, it actually rejects the value. So if this value low doesn't hold, we do have two scenarios here. If value low doesn't hold, we're seeing lower prices because we're escaping value. If value holds, we're seeing a rotation higher. So this will be a pretty crucial hold for the next few days, but we'll see how price develops. So that's pretty much it in terms of monthly value. Let's go into lower time frame, weekly value. We do have weekly value sitting right here, 115 to 117k briefly, roughly 17k. So when or if we come back here, you won't see price slow grinding for a move towards these levels. Right now, the 117k rejection, if it happens, is pretty crucial also on higher time frame. On lower time frame though, we still do have some support here at 115k. So if we keep on holding, we might see price going even higher. So the importance this week or the next couple of weeks is not the weekly value, but the monthly and the quarterly. The monthly, much better actually. So bringing up everything into the chart, we have some plans laid out right here. First plan being that played out yesterday when I posted it was a rejection here into the 5-week value for rotation towards previous month year low, right? Now, the first play I'm looking at now is a bounce into the previous month year low, 112k, roughly 112k, with a potential sweep of the lows here because we don't want to participate if this low doesn't get swept, or at least if we don't start making higher lows and higher lows, we don't want to participate here. So we want to see this liquidity pool getting tagged after we're participating. And if we do bounce here, we're seeing a rotation towards 115k as we said. Now, the rejection here will be pretty bad because that means we're rejecting once again this big ass value, this 5-week value, and could potentially lead to lower prices, even 104k, and even much lower, as I said, 85k, actually 90k is my next POI, 90k here is my next POI if we lose this level, right? But we do have a lot of price development until this happens, and if it happens. So let's focus on the recent developments. So losing previous month year low, as I said, it means price is extending and we're extending lower, right? Lower towards 104k. This is all happening in the middle, so it's pretty choppy, right? You want to participate more when price is into 104k or 120k, right? Because then we have our extremes tagged, so we do have better conditions when this happens. Now we're just staying flat mostly and playing out rotations like this. Okay, the bullish scenario would be a low to be formed here and a slow grain to happen here to tag 120k. Okay, if we reject at 120k, we'll talk about it when it happens. All right, so that's pretty much what I'm expecting this week. If we jump into lower time frame, I don't have a lot to add. Just keep in mind that this week right here, I think it should get tagged before anything. It should get tagged, form a bottom, and then potentially bounce. If we do something like this, we tag and we keep on rejecting, it's looking pretty bad actually. And we will be seeing another leg lower, and potentially a bigger leg lower. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Let me stop the recording.